All right, my apprentices, class is in session. I'm your professor, Darth Samurai, and we're going to be talking about evolution today. Yes, but not evolution in the commonly accepted scientific sense, but evolution in the sense of the Saberforge economy line. So what we have in front of you is that is a Gen 2, that is a Gen 3, and that is a Gen 4. So that is the Defender, Stalwart, Acolyte. And what are the primary differences between these sabers? Well, I'm glad that you asked. Let's show you, first off, the Gen 2 Defender. Now, if you seem to recall, Saberforge at one point offered one of the more common economy, inexpensive Chinese sabers as one of their own, as oft happens with a lot of saber companies. This particular hilt, it may be known as the Kyogen, but it's everyone that is in the saber community has ever searched online for a saber has seen these. They're inexpensive and simple. I believe, if you recall, Sidious drowned one, only to have it resurrect later, sort of. That was an interesting video. Anyway, so at some point, Saberforge was selling those, and then they moved on to more interesting hilts, like the Defender here, and basically just threw the electronics that you found in those sabers into their own hilts. And the end result was a very simple saber that utilizes one font, and it may be crimson. I'm not certain. I'm not certain if it was predicated on the color of the blade. This one is red LED. Now, I've had this saber for a while, a long time, and it's still working. So sometimes evolution is a counterintuitive process, because most of my Gen 3s are either dead, near dead, mostly dead, or partially dead. So you have your LED retention screw. You've got your, that's your blade retention screw. Over here you've got your LED retention screw. And a nice little button that sort of sticks out so that you inadvertently turn the saber on and off while you're playing with it and spinning it. But you have a nice smooth hilt, unlike the Generation 3 version of the Defender, which you have to be very careful with. You can lacerate yourself. Recharge port, and down here at the end of the pommel, a little mesh that protects the speaker. Very standard fare for a Shoto-sized saber that you can accidentally kick off effects with. So it has your requisite clash. That does not give a visual effect. The camera may look like it's doing it, but it's not. You only get the actual flashing effect when you engage your lockup. No blaster block. Very simple saber. And for what it did it well. And it still works. One of the few Generation 3 sabers that I have that still works is my Stalwart. And you can see that the electronics are different. It has a backlit switch up here. Gone are the clickety-clack switches of old. They move the recharge port from one end to the other. Blade retention screw. Yeah, I think this is the LED retention screw here. And they still utilize the little mesh here. If I can get that to show up. It doesn't want to show up. Why? Why do you not want to show up? There it is. There's your little mesh protecting the speaker. And introduced with the Gen 3 line was the concept of a saber that you can put into deep sleep mode, or it'll put itself into deep sleep mode after a requisite amount of time. I don't remember. It's maybe like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I don't know. And we all know how this works.
Powerful.
Single font predicated on the color of the blade. Some people thought, or still think, that it's the hilt that determines the sound font that's used. So that's definitely possible. I'm of the school that it was predicated on the LED. In which case, I got orange for my Stalwart. Now, my Stalwart died, and I had to send this in to Saberforge to be repaired. And they explained that there was essentially a resistor missing from the board, which caused it to die. So that's wonderful. The Gen 3 has blaster block. The blade flickers. And it also has lockup. Now, I'm not sure what battery comes in the Gen 2, but the Gen 3 has a lithium-ion 18650 battery. And as I said, it just has the single font.
Powerful.
And, you can put it into deep sleep mode, or, as I said, it'll kind of do that on its own if you ignore the saber for long enough. None of the Eco line comes with CoverTech wheels. That's why they like to roll around all over the place. Kind of the bane of my existence. If you've seen any of my videos, I just can't keep these things under control. They're always rolling. Keep them sabers rolling. And that's not fun at all. On to Gen 4. Yes, this is the Acolyte. So, the switch section kind of evolved somewhat. It's slightly different. Not amazingly different, just slightly different. So the electronics, again, evolved. And again, we still have the requisite problems with the soundboards dying and showing problems, sabers rolling away, the whole kit and caboodle. Yeah. So we've got a blade retention screw, LED retention screw, all the thingies holding the switch into place. But gone are the days of the mesh. Now we have a proper pommel insert, which is really, really nice advance. And, of course, as we all know, the soundboard evolved to contain 3 sound fonts: Crimson, Viridium, and Gunmetal. And that's regardless of the hilt or the blade color. Now, I have, what do they call it? Is it called Violet? I'm thinking in terms of, Ultra Sabers calls it Violet Amethyst, but I think they just simply call it Purple. And same thing, hold the button for 7 seconds. The button's far more recessed, so the possibility of inadvertently turning the saber on and off, or kicking off effects, if your saber's actually still working, has been mitigated. And I basically just keep my Acolyte set permanently to gunmetal, so I'm not going to go through all the fonts. Done that plenty of times. And so far, I haven't had any issues with the speaker on this saber. It has the bassier speaker, and there's no crackling effects. So, and the accelerometer seems to be very responsive on this saber. So far, it's been holding up really well. You have your blaster block effect. And your lockup. And now, with the clash, you actually get the flicker. So onward and upward with these sabers.
Power off.
So it's the same business with the deep sleep mode. You can either put it into deep sleep mode yourself, or if you wait the requisite amount of time, the saber will fall asleep on its own and let you know about it. So what do we have here? Essentially, we went from a saber that didn't have blaster block, only had one sound font, didn't have a backlit switch. It did not do clash effects. I mean, it has the sound, but the blade wasn't affected by clash. But it did do lockup, and you had the one I could show you again. You had a kind of like a more primitive pommel that uses the old-fashioned screen mesh, and then we evolved to Generation 3, where we acquired a new backlit switch section. We also acquired the ability to have blaster block with blade effects, and blaster block with clash effects, and lockup. Yes, got confused there for a second. Single sound font predicated on either the hilt or the LED color. I hold to the LED color theory. And then again, the pommel just is secured with a little bit of a mesh. On to Generation 4, where we kind of kept the same theme with the switch, a little bit of an evolution of the switch. And now we have 3 sound fonts, which are selectable. The pommel has an insert to protect your speaker. And we also have the blaster block effect, clash effect, and lockup effect, where the blade shimmies and shakes and does all kinds of flashy stuff. So, in case you didn't know how we got from here to here, well, now you do. I don't know if we'll ever see any more Gen 4s again, not with COVID-19 sort of kicking every single saber company's butt. Probably speculation I've seen is that after we've gotten over the curve and the economies of the world start to recover and production starts kicking into gear again, and maybe we get some degree of normalcy in life to the point where we're able, maybe we'll just see Gen 5 sabers, and who knows? I mean, I don't know what advent Saberforge might throw into those sabers, but I would imagine after not being able to, fulfill orders in a quick and efficient manner, they've been kind of struggling. I've seen people waiting for these sabers for a very, very long time. They've been sold out forever. They're probably going to be sold out forever. I imagine that at some point Saberforge is just gonna, they're just gonna say, well, that's over and done with. Enough time has passed. It's time to move on, and we'll see what we can do for Generation 5. So that seems to make sense to me. And the economy sabers do a robust business. Personally, what I like to see, I do like the 3 font format, kind of like a veteran tier, but I think the evolutionary process, if it was at all possible to have customizable fonts, I don't expect the ability to be able to customize the fonts personally. But if when you're ordering the saber, if you could order font packages, I think that would be a nice direction to go. And other than that, obviously the electronics, they need to be shored up. Saberforge has to get rid of the problems. We just can't keep receiving sabers that die. Now I know Saberforge has a reputation of having electronics that are fallible. Some people encounter no problems. Some people encounter extreme problems. I know for a fact that, some people have champion tier sabers that have been completely reliable. I have not had that experience, and I've had to send my, you know, two of my champion tier sabers off to be repaired, which are on their way back to me. So I'm really looking forward to unboxing, reviewing those. I have been looking forward to reviewing my Redeemer since I started this channel, but it was dead the whole time. And then I also have a Nova, which hopefully that'll be pretty cool. Because I don't even know what sound fonts are on the Nova because I've never heard them. The Saber arrived to me dead, and hopefully Saberforge fix that. So anyway, give you kind of a visual tour of these sabers. You've seen them before. I've reviewed them, so if you want to see how they perform at night, I've even reviewed the Defender here, how bright they are. This particular video isn't about LED brightness per se. Although, and I don't know what the wattage on the particular sabers are. Well, I think the Gen 4 is like 12 watt. I don't know. To be perfectly honest, it's just I don't remember details like that. But they're all comparably bright. Yeah. Anyway, so well, that's pretty much the evolution of the Saberforge Gen Eco or Economy line. How we got from there to here, and whatever the future holds, it'll be to infinity and beyond. Anyway, so class dismissed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday. And I hope everyone's doing well, healthy, happy, safe. Hope your family's doing well. Hope your friends are doing well. I wish everyone all the best. My love to you all. And thank you for watching. And, subscribe, like, dislike, comment, all that good stuff. And I will talk to you later. Have a good rest of the weekend. Take care now. Bye.